Hey, welcome to the Two Dudes Talk Movies podcast. I'm Luke.
I'm Griffin.
And we are back for our October Halloween spooky time month shenanigans. This is my favorite time for Two Dudes. We have guests every single week talking about horror movies, the usual. But for our first guest here today, we have Emerson Reynolds.
Hi, I'm Emerson Reynolds. They just talked about me. I'm an English major at Eastern Illinois University with a journalism minor. I'm also the opinions editor at the Daily Eastern News, and I do other stuff, totally. I do other stuff.
And he is also my roommate.
Yeah, I am also Griffin's roommate.
All right, well, welcome. Pleasure to have you. The movie we're talking about this week is Shaun of the Dead, I think 2004, if I remember seeing it right. So 2004's Shaun of the Dead. It's more of a satire comedy than it is a horror movie, which is kind of new because in the past it's always been like very strong horror movie elements. So having a comedy movie to kick things off is kind of a change of pace. Not that that's a bad thing, but basically film stars Simon Pegg as Shaun, Nick Frost as Ed, who are roommates, kind of like the other two roommates currently here, and Kate Ashfield as Liz, Peter Serafinowicz, but I think I forgot to write down who he plays. I'm pretty sure he plays like their landlord or something like that.
No, he did it. What? Oh,
Right.
He's not their landlord. Their roommate, the third roommate.
Are they roommates?
Is it the guy who turns into a zombie?
Well, spoilers, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a 21-year-old movie. You've missed out.
I hope you heard that, Cam. I wasn't the one that said it this time. But yeah, so it's basically the film follows Shaun, who's this everyday guy, and then the world ends. He just got broken up with, and zombie outbreak immediately starts. They're lucky it's the slow ones. If it was the fast kind of zombies, it would be a huge, huge problem.
Yeah, if it was like 28 days later, they would have been dead.
Yeah, it would have been calling it quits there.
There's a point that Edgar Wright makes, who's the director, that death is not an energy drink. So he made the zombies slow on purpose because they would be dead.
That's kind of based, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so the film basically just follows them trying to survive. But seeing as it's guest week, that means Emerson has chosen the movie, and I think we kind of forgot to mention it, but in addition to explaining why you chose this movie, you might want to explain what you're wearing.
No comment.
For those of you who don't recall, in the intro episode where we introduced Griffin, Emerson is currently wearing the Ghostface garbs as he helped us record that skit. So
yes,
shout out.
I am Ghostface. If you ever need a cool Ghostface face mask, ask Griffin because this is just his outfit.
So why did you choose this movie?
So the reason I chose this movie is a lot of different reasons. One, comedy to me is like, I love comedy. I was a part of an improv comedy group last year. I'm part of a sketch comedy group this year. A lot of the media that I intake is comedy, so I feel like, I like the good blood and guts horror movies. Like Halloween is still an amazing movie, but like I thought I would do something that's more distinctly me because, comedy. And I see, this is going to sound weird, I see weirdly a lot of myself in this movie, because we'll talk about it later, but this movie is like about having to grow up in your life and like kind of going day to day as a zombie, and that's stuff I relate to all very well. So it's just and plus Edgar Wright's like my favorite director. Scott Pilgrim's my favorite movie. All the Cornetto trilogy movies are amazing. So just a great movie.
Well, with that being said, we can get into general thoughts, but before that, I also keep forgetting to point things out. We got another background change, one episode after another. This is the backdrop for the multimedia studio that we're in currently. It's not meant to be here the whole time. We're kind of waiting to finish up some of the renovations where it's going to go. So for the time being, you can enjoy this lovely den decorated background.
We love it.
Yeah, with general thoughts, since Emerson, you chose the movie, why don't you start off and just kind of give us a brief taste of what you like or if you dislike?
The comedy, first off, is amazing. Edgar Wright, even like the visual comedy in every scene is just amazing. Like, can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but just like how the way scenes are shot, you can see like there's a scene when he is working his job because he's a job haver, and he gets like it's, oh, Liz is calling, and he gets handed the phone, and like that's something that even comes up in later movies, because in Scott Pilgrim there's a scene that is exactly like that, of someone calling trying to reach him, and they hand him the phone, and like just in that exact same way. So just the visual comedy is great. The visuals are amazing. The comedy's funny. Like the entire scene where they're deciding on what vinyls to throw as a collector, like, yeah, I probably don't care that much about the Batman soundtrack. Sorry, Luke.
How dare you?
Hey, look, there's some soundtracks you probably don't care about. I would be sad if I lost my second ever vinyl I bought ever. Thank you, Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator. So, like, I don't know. There's just like a lot of personal stuff in this film too. Like I said, like the feeling of just being a zombie is so real. I feel like that all the time. I'm just moving through life, and honestly, me being a zombie sometimes exacerbates things. Which, if you've watched the movie, that is a word that comes up a lot.
Which I did advise all of you to watch movies before you watch episodes if you've caught last week's episode on the long walk.
Shaun of the Dead, the first of the 3 Cornetto trilogy movies. And it's probably tied for my favorite with Hot Fuzz, but it's more horror themed for this one, so decided to go with it.
Yeah, so for me, can you believe it, guys? I liked a movie.
Wow.
I do actually like Shaun of the Dead. I had only heard it by name so far, and then whenever Emerson was telling me that it was more of a comedy than a horror movie, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to vibe with that fully or not. I did end up vibing with it pretty heavy.
It's a pretty easy movie to vibe to.
Yeah, I think the main reason is that Shaun is not a main character. Like he obviously is in the film as a protagonist, but the opening act is basically just him being a background extra in the movie. All of the interesting stuff with the outbreak is happening in the background, and it's blurred out, so you can't see him or what's happening as much, and so you're just kind of following this extra as he goes through his life until he gets the moment to like step into that main character energy. And Simon Pegg is Shaun. Shout out my goat. I love Simon Pegg. Amazing actor. Nick Frost too, as well as supporting character. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what I'll start off with. General thoughts, Griffin.
Kind of starting off the general thoughts. Like the comedy, I really liked. Like the visual comedy was pretty good. Some of it was kind of like, man, didn't really stick with me. But like a lot of like what they showed definitely kind of landed more than like what was kind of said by the characters. Like I feel like the dialogue, like the jokes said in the dialogue wasn't really like amazing, but like just kind of don't
crazy.
interrupt me yet. But the visuals, like just kind of what was visually shown was kind of more appealing than like the comedy said out loud.
Yeah, and with the humor for that too, that's something I wrote down in my notes, is the mannerisms and script are pretty much what carries most of the comedy here, as the characters interact with each other and their mannerisms, and then also the jokes written in the script. I do see what you're saying with like some of them just don't stick and don't get a reaction out of me, but there are some that do. There's one where they're in a bar and they're joking about like, oh, your boyfriend's not coming, and he's like, here, the drink might be cold, the cooler's out, and he's like, thanks, babe. So like there's little like quick dialogue jokes that make it funny.
That's something that Edgar Wright like specializes in. All of his movies fast, it's quippy, it's one scene to the next, it's fast. So like it's something that he does specifically.
And like with the speed too, it definitely shows in like the cinematography, because like there's a lot of like cutaway shots where it's just like one action, then like a second later you're just kind of transitioned into the next scene.
And with the cinematography too, because I wrote that down as well, that it's a lot of like quick zooming in edits where it's bam, 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 just rapid firing through them all. And that happens quite a lot, but there's also a lot of medium and medium close-up shots as well. And then I found the camera to be handheld more often than it isn't, to kind of give it a more amateurish vibe and kind of add to that humor where it's just like, oh yeah, there's this person you think that's drunk in your backyard, but they're dead. And so like, sure, let's chuck records at them.
And I think for this movie too, like it works that they don't really use tripods, and it's more like handheld shot more than using like tripods. Because as you said, it gives like that amateurish feel. And then it's like, because it's like a comedy and it's like action and there's zombies, like you kind of need to be following characters a lot, and so like the handheld's just kind of really necessary.
And with the editing too, along that line, right, where it's all these handheld, these quick motions and stuff, the horror element mainly comes up from the editing, with mainly in the first act where characters just suddenly appear and there's like that tense music, and then it like immediately stops playing when characters show up and they're like, hey, I got a call for you, or something like that. It kind of brings in that horror element of things.
I think a great example of that is so there's a scene early in the movie when he has to go use the bathroom, and he like pushes in the mirror and it shows their third roommate who is not fond of Ed. So like, and then later on in the movie, they go back up to the bathroom again, and it has been previously established that the third roommate had been bitten, and they do that exact same shot, but instead of like showing him like nagging about how like he doesn't clean or whatever, it's him being a zombie in the shower. So like, this movie does a lot of like setting something up earlier in the movie, like the entire like they set up like there's like when they plan out what they're gonna do after he gets broken up with, they like go on a rant like, oh, go and like, like the whole rant that's like, oh, all that for a slice of fried gold.
Yeah.
Like they follow that. Like everything they say in that is technically happens in the movie. So I just a lot of foreshadowing is cool in this movie.
And I think the film lends itself to the pacing of that really well as well. This is only an hour and 39-minute movie, which isn't that long. But yeah, there's another scene too when they're like planning after the outbreak, and they go through like 3 drafts of it, and they show you as they're saying it. They're just not expositing it, which thank God. Hate exposition. You're never going to hear me not about it. But they get around all that, and then they're right to it after that. Like, they're just immediately going on that plan. There's no other buffer scene before they take off.
And like every time that they go through, it gets switched. Like it's oh, we're gonna do this, and it's like them being like, sorry, Philip, and it's like, and the next time it's like, sorry, Phil, and the next time they're like, sorry. Like it cuts down, and it gets faster and faster every time when it goes through that scene. So the editing is very fast paced.
Unlike the fast pace, the zombies are slow and very, very stupid. And I think that's where I start to kind of not enjoy the movie as much. Not just from the zombies itself, but more so just like how things feel a little unrealistic. And I know it's a zombie movie. It's meant to be unrealistic. It's unrealistic by default.
My zombies aren't realistic. What am I going to do? Like, yeah, like, but like, think about it. It's they are decaying. Their muscles aren't going to be working overtime.
Yeah, I'm going to let you speak before I get into all this, but
okay. So yeah, the zombies are very slow in this movie, but it works out for the movie because it's like you kind of need them to be slow paced. Like if they were fast, they'd all be dead, as you said. Yeah. But like for like other movies, like fast paced zombies do work and like in fewer numbers. Like 28 Days Later, like the zombies in there, like they're still alive technically. They're not like dead. They're just infected with a virus, so it's like they can move around really fast. Whereas this movie, it's like they die, then they come back as a zombie, so they're just walking corpses at that point.
And me saying they're slow is not the critique. That's just a transition to get to the critiquing of it. But the things that I find unrealistic just involve scenes with the zombies. Them being slow and stupid doesn't bother me. Like, that's fine. There's different variety of zombie, whether it's the fast-paced ones from like the 28 Days Later franchise or these slow dummies. But one scene that kind of pointed at or stuck out to me is whenever they get to the Winchester, which is a pub in town, and that's where they're going to like hold up for the apocalypse basically. And they pretend to be the zombies walking through the crowd. That part to me doesn't make any sense because they've already established that these zombies can see you and hear you.
But they're stupid.
Yes, but they visibly can see that like they're still alive. So when there's at minimum 50 zombies surrounding the street, I find it very hard to believe that you could just walk and be like, and then make it fine, you know?
I mean, so like, add a joke here because The Walking Dead does this later on. Like, if in the later seasons of Walking Dead, they do the exact same shtick, and it's still stupid. And I get it's stupid, but like, I don't know. It's a comedy movie. Like, it's also kind of the critique about, not critique, but like it's also kind of a metaphor for how basically they've been living their lives already entirely like a zombie. So it doesn't take that much for them to exhibit zombieism or whatever you would like to call it.
Yeah, I think that's true. It just was something that, like, in the context of the plot, just didn't feel fitting for me. Another instance of something similar is when Shaun ends up going back out to, like, see, they're trying to get into the Winchester, right? Doors are locked and they could break a window, but if they break the window, the zombies will hear him because for some reason they didn't hear him going through the street anyway. But I digress. But there's a back door to the Winchester, and so they're like, we could go around. Well, in order to do that and have everybody get in the front door, Shaun has to go around the back and distract them. So he bolts through the crowd and lures them all away. Problem one, zombies pass the crowd of everybody else there and pay no mind to them, even though they're very clearly making sound and talking to each other. So you're already contradicting the same thing again. And then when Shaun runs out, the zombies very clearly grab his arms and stuff. And they're not like the zombies where, like, if you get scratched, it's over. It's like a physical bite has to happen. But we've seen these zombies grab a hold of people and tear them to shreds. Yeah. So did Shaun just get a massive amount of plot armor to, like, get around that? I mean, because he goes through a crowd of like 50 of them and doesn't get bit.
Counterpoint, he gave him the slip. Like, yeah. I mean, see, you could. I mean, if I, as the zombie expert myself, because I know all things zombies, you could, like, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to, like, push and make yourself a path. But, like, I get it. It's unrealistic. But once again,
it's a zombie movie.
It's a zombie movie. I'm not expecting my zombies to have photorealism.
I mean, I don't think I need it to be photorealistic either, but that's not the complaint I'm making here. It's just that in the context of what you've already established from these zombies and their capabilities, they're simply just not doing it. And I understand the point of the film is to be a satire and kind of poke fun at all of that. But maybe I just want consistency when you poke fun at things. I don't know.
Or you just want to hate on movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro is
criminal movie hater.
Lock me up, guys. But yeah. And aside from those problems, right, there's a little bit of predictability to it at times. And I don't know if it's like I'm genuinely just too aware of it now. But I was at Comic Fest this week, right? Or I guess last week now. Point is last week.
Yeah, last week, yeah.
And Craig Titley was there, who's a screenwriter in LA and has worked on a bunch of stuff. And his presentation was going over, like, the hero's journey, right? And so, like, I had that in the back of my head as I was watching this, and it hit every single point, like how the presentation was saying, no matter what you're watching, what medium, any story has some form of a hero's journey. And then it just made this moment where, spoilers again, but like I said last week, watch the movie before you get here. Because usually I'll have something that involves a spoiler that I have to point out. But Shaun's mom gets bitten, right? So obvious, and I don't think there's a way to get around it being obvious. And I think that just kind of sucks. There's no way to get around it. It's just how it is, you know?
I mean, like, the moment it happens, like, the scene after that, they make a joke about, like, how, oh, you're really good at acting like a zombie, Barbara, where it's like, yeah, she's infected. Now, the real question to ask is, how does she end up face down in that backyard? Because it just...
What do you mean by that?
Like, so in the scene, it's them walking through the backyards when he tries to jump the fence and it doesn't work. And, like, she goes like, oh, I think someone and someone live here. And then it cuts to the main characters and they're talking and they're like, one of us is missing. And they, like, go back and Barbara is just laying face down on the ground and then the door is open where a zombie... like, supposedly breaks out, and then the zombie then jumps, like, how do you end up there is just my thing.
I wonder if maybe, like, she got ran over or something. So like the zombie breaks out the window, right? I guess it's a glass sliding door.
Because the door is opened.
Was it not broken?
I could be wrong, but I feel like I distinctly remember the door not being broken. It was more open.
Whether the door is open or broken, it doesn't matter because the point still ends up being the same. But like, I thought the zombie would have ran out, like knocked her over, or like bit her and then knocked her over when the rest of them got there. But I don't know. Maybe it's just another like continuity oversight or something like that.
Like it could be continuity, or it's just like the zombie walked out, like bit her, and then just kind of like maybe shoved her down or something, just without really making too much of a
because
noise.
They then use that zombie to practice acting dead, because like how they get the idea is someone groans and they're like, and then it like focuses in on Liz's friend, and it's stated in the movie that she's a failed actor, so she tries to like teach him how to act like a zombie, and I've done theater, I've done stuff like that. It sounds like every theater coach you've ever dealt with.
Is that good or bad?
If you taught me how to do theater and you're watching this, it's totally good. It's good.
I'm gonna send this to all of your theater
teachers.
No.
And now, love you, Mr. Tucker. But no, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. That's like a scene that I think is funny, even though it's not like jokes time. It's funny in its own way without just straight up being joke after joke.
Those are the main points I wanted to hit on, things I was a fan of and things I wasn't. But is there anything else we talk about before we get into a deep thought?
I just like the one thing that always holds this movie back for me is I forget the guy's name, but it's Liz's friend who's trying, who like.
It's David, right?
David. Dude, David sucks. Yeah. I hate that guy. Everyone knows a David in their life. If you've watched the movie, you know one of them. Looking at you.
Were you breaking the third
breaking the fourth camera?
Yeah. He is talking to someone specific.
Yeah, I know, but he has his comedic moments, but like the movie, like he doesn't have a moment where he's a good person. And I understand that you want to make him the villain. He's the bad leader compared to Shaun's good leadership. But like the scene where they're debating on shooting Barbara, but he's like, yeah, we need to shoot her, and I see her point, and I see his point, and in the movie they see his point, but then like he goes to later then shoot Shaun. Like, dude is just trying to mark off the evil check boxes. Like, I don't know, he has no redeemability in my eyes.
And like honestly, like David just kind of sucks. It's like he did not need to be in the movie at all. Like I feel like his role could have been easily like with Diane's role. Like he didn't, like he was just like hitting all the evil checkboxes as he said, and it's just like I just did not like his character at all, man.
I think there's some comedic moments that like the whole like there's more pressing matters at hand. Like he has his moments where he's funny, but it's usually not the character being funny. And I'm not saying like the actor's bad. I think he does a really good job at being a snobbish piece of. Do you guys have a censor button?
We do. We do it in post.
Yeah.
He means that as a compliment.
No, it's a great actor. But in like. There's a lot of good stuff, but it's the one character when I watch the movie, I'm like, ugh. And I get that's kind of the point, but like
that was a good zombie groan.
Yeah, like give him, give him something, man. Oh, he wants to get Liz. He's dating someone and he doesn't care about her. He wants to kill the mom. Like, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Guy did not go to like empathy school or something. I don't know. That's like my one complaint with the characters, because outside of that, and even sometimes still with him, the characters are amazing in this movie. All of them are like real people you have probably met before.
Yeah, we all know a David, don't we?
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. Well, is there any?
Looking at me?
Is there anything else then?
I don't think I got anything else at the moment.
Griffin, do you?
I've got nothing.
All right, well, we can move into our deep thought then. I apologize. This movie has not got much of a deep thought out of me. It's just a comedy movie that's meant to be a satire poking fun at things.
We're coming to get you, Barbara.
I couldn't think of like a super in-depth question. So instead, it's kind of basic, but a little silly. So you're at your dorm, right? Now, the zombie outbreak happens, and the only way that you can like handle them is by taking off the head or damaging the brain. So my question is, what is your weapon of choice? And Griffin, we'll start with you. But you're in your dorm when this happens, so you got to use what's like in your room.
Okay, so first off, he's my roommate. I got to hunker with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I'm not that bad.
Let's see. Realistically, what's in my room?
You could pull like a John Wick and use a pencil, right?
But
Well,
I'm not that.
I don't keep pencils around.
I have pens.
To all the people who have classes with me, I'm sorry I keep asking for pencils, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Let me think here. I have a Dr. Pepper mini fridge. I can bludgeon people with that.
We got lots of cans of Dr. Pepper.
We have
just
lots
a lot
of
of cans in general.
I mean, they're slow, so like I guess you could, and then you'd have like the stun ability where like if you shake it up and then pop it open and throw it like a grenade almost, like it'll like stun them.
This is something that I also see in the movie. Like they're regular people. They haven't. It's not like they slice the head off and so cool. They beat the shit out of them. It's wham. Wham, wham, wham. 1A. And I know you watched Marvel Zombies recently, so we don't have like hard light swords. Luke Brewer, hater of TV shows.
Sorry, I like good shows, but that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, like we to deal with these guys, we are just going to have to wail on them.
I also have a bottle of sparkling apple cider, non-alcoholic for clarity's sake here.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
You know it's there. Do you know it's there? No, you don't.
No.
But I'm saying, I could take the bottle and just like you smash it, and then you got all the sharp edges, so you could just use it as a knife.
Well, yeah. Have you ever played critically acclaimed game, The Walking Dead?
I've not played a single Walking Dead
What's the VR
game.
one? It's the VR Walking Dead game. You got to use that, but I'm pretty sure after like a couple uses, the bottle breaks. That bottle is breaking, dog. I don't think it's going to be able to penetrate the skull well.
Well, I mean, you can always aim for like the neck or the heart.
Well, as I see, you clearly don't watch the news in the movie. You have to take off the head or you have to
damage
destroy
the
brain. Yeah. So my first observation is I had to get something to get out of the building to get to my weapon. So if you know me, you know that I love
the weapon's outside of the room?
No. We're gonna. We have to find something.
My bad. I'll
we're
listen.
gonna get the Dr. Pepper mini fridge. We're gonna start bashing people that have it. The real goal is to get to Steve-O parking lot and get my Kia Niro 2019 out. And
are you gonna run people over? Is that your plan?
That is the plan. I'm pulling a real Nick Frost here and just running over people while listening to whatever music I want to. Like. That's the game plan.
All right.
Going off of that, so like newer cars, they're like, if they get in an accident, they're gonna like crumple up. I have an older car. I have a 2005 Toyota Corolla, so it's a lot more.
Big reference to the 2005 Toyota Corolla, people.
Wow, yeah, the whole fandom for that apparently. But I'm saying my car is a lot more durable. It can take on a crash, but if it crashes, that means me inside, I'm not gonna survive. But
so
on the outside, it'll be fine.
So I don't know where it is, but I could get a pickleball.
You don't know where your car is?
No. Let me finish. I'm gonna get my pickleball paddle and just wail on. I'm not cool enough to have a cricket paddle. Sorry, the 2 cricket fans on EIU campus. I know you're really crying for this one, but like I don't have a cricket paddle and I don't have a baseball bat on me. Unless my brother's left it in my car, but I don't think I have one on me. But if I had to pick a weapon solely from my room, my Magic the Gathering decks won't work.
Nah, you like those too much. You got to.
I do like those too much. I spent a little bit too much money on those. My extensive manga collection won't work. Do you think my half-eaten box of pita chips works?
No.
Man, sometimes they're so stale I think they could cut off my head, but like,
Maybe you shouldn't be eating them then.
but I need something to eat. Honestly, I think the best bet would honestly just to go out to the kitchen in Ford, because we live in Ford, for all those who are wondering. And I'm kidding.
Thanks for doxing us, Jesus.
You're doxed. So like, get a pot and pan from the kitchen and just bop them on the head, run. As Shaun says, boom, bop, bop, run away. They ain't stopping us. They are. I will be dying in the next, I will be dying in the first hour. Same with Griffin. I know.
How do you feel about that?
I am not surviving.
Probably patient 0.
Why would I be patient 0?
Too much
Why
rage.
would I be?
Too much rage from hating movies.
Okay. The rage virus in question is just me hating movies.
If they had the rage virus, we'd die.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that virus would take us all out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, for me, I think though, because I live at home, so I have a little bit more advantage where I'm not.
Wow, he lives at home. He doesn't have to pay for housing.
Thank you for the applause.
All hail Luke, everyone.
That's not what I'm saying. No, I'm saying that I'm in less of a populated spot. So when this outbreak happens, I don't have to worry as immediately as other people do.
Mm-hmm.
But keeping the same rules, just off what's in my bedroom, right? I have this one specific thing, and I don't know why it's been in there for so long, but it is. And it probably would work. I had a history project in, what would it have been? It would have been my sophomore year of high school. And you had to create something historical. It was like a craft project almost, right? Mm-hmm. And so you had to create something. And I was like, you know what would be really cool if I could make is an Aztec macuito. And I don't know. Do you guys know what that is?
Not off the top of my head, but I have a feeling that it's like a sword of some kind.
Yeah, so it's like a wooden stick, basically. Mm-hmm. And then it's got obsidian stones that are around it. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember the name of it, but there's a video that takes historical weapons and has this body dummy that has a flesh-like material on it, and then inside of it is where your major arteries are. Yeah. So as you attack the thing, if you hit one by accident, it'll realistically bleed, so you can see the damage it deals. And with the obsidian stones, when they took the macuito and slashed the chest, it ripped part of it open and just kept gushing. So the weapon's strong, and so I made one, and it's kind of poor quality. It's literally just a wooden stick. But it's
my wooden stick with pieces of glass on it.
Yeah. No, it's not glass. It's just little stones that aren't going to do anything. But but because of that, only half of it has the stones. The other half is still the wood, but it's in sharp pointed edges. So if I grab that thing and the goal is to damage the head or take the head off, I just have to use the spiked end and I'm chilling.
Yeah. So another option that I see, because sorry, I don't have my sophomore history project. Man, I don't remember. Did I even have history? I don't think I did. If I had to make a weapon to all my Walking Dead fans out there, I don't know why you would watch that show, but if you are, the Lucille, the bat with just the
with the chainmail spikes and
the
stuff.
Barbed wire. Once again, why does he need the barbed wire? I think I get the point. Is Aura one, but he's also kind of used because it's more. It hurts humans more because it makes them bleed, and zombies don't care about that. But at the same time, I don't plan on killing two of the most favorite characters of the show that early. But yeah, I think a bat would probably be my first weapon to go to, or we can go. What's the game where you're stuck in a mall and you're trying to kill people? Zombies. What's it called?
Don't ask me.
Man, okay. Well, in that game, my dad's gonna text me later and be like, "Oh, it's this," and I'm gonna be like, "God dang it!" And you get to tie a chainsaw to a boat oar. So if we can make that, that's what we're going for.
We do not have a chainsaw in our room.
We can find one.
Where? I mean, if you ask facilities.
Hey,
there's a zombie outbreak outside. Can I borrow your chainsaw?
Do you have a boat or two? You got any of those on you? Those around?
Yeah. Well, okay. So if Emerson's going to use his car and whatever chainsaw ore, and I'm going to use a McQueedle, are you just going to use the soda fridge?
I'm gonna try to fight with what I English. My God, I'm gonna fight with what I got. Cans, bottles,
throwing hands, throwing bottles.
Yep.
1A.
I'm just gonna 1A every. No, I'm not. But
well, yeah. Deep Thought was kind of simple. Nothing too crazy this time. But do we think that we're ready to move into ratings?
I believe we're ready for ratings.
Yes.
All right, we can get into that then. Emerson, it's your movie. Why don't you tell us first what you're thinking?
So personally, what dictator of opinion, aka opinion editor Emerson believes, is that this movie, it's one of the best movies. It's such an influential movie. It's so funny. It's the start of the Cornetto trilogy, which is just like some of the three funniest movies ever. And then it's made by Edgar Wright. Like, of course, it's going to be a great movie. I don't think that man's made a movie that's been bad. Don't quote me on that. But like, there's better in the Cornetto trilogy, in my opinion. That is a really hot take. I've been told multiple times that I'm just straight wrong, but I don't care. So Hot Fuzz is my favorite. Hot Fuzz is so funny. But I would have to give this movie a solid 4.5.
All right,
yeah.
4.5. Solid rating. Up on the higher end there.
Yeah.
What is it that's taking the 0.5 off for you then?
I don't know. Like, it's the base of what Edgar Wright then goes on to build. So just in comparison to other Edgar Wright movies, it does a lot creatively, but then there's more. And then I know I didn't agree with you guys earlier, but sometimes the jokes don't land. I don't think it's not it's not as prominent as Griffin over here thought.
Damn,
but
okay.
Coming after you. But like, the jokes hit heavier, in my opinion, at least in like Scott Pilgrim. Like, Scott Pilgrim's just such a fun. It's my favorite movie. So
Me who had an episode on that.
You had
in my defense, I said it was a good movie.
yeah, it's my favorite movie. And like, I think of my top 5 movies, like 3 or 4 of them are comedy movies. So it's not like the best comedy movie I've ever seen, but it sure is up there. And just so like, there's a lot to build off of after this point. So that's why I probably would give it not a 5.
All right, solid. Griffin,
Yes,
it's your turn.
it is indeed my turn. I would say I would give this movie a 3.5 out of 5.
Ooh, 3.5. Hang on, I'm not clapping you for that.
What? Okay.
Beat him up! Beat him up!
I'm kidding. Talk a little bit about why 3.5 compared to the 4.5 that Emerson gave.
So as Emerson so politely mentioned, not a lot of the. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. Not all of the humor stuck with me. Like,
Ooh, bad take.
Opinion editor shaming opinions.
Usually
is this what
Luke-
I hear? Is this
you-
opinion
usually-
editor is
shaming my opinion.
Luke usually has the bad takes. That's off brand.
Yeah,
Dude,
what's
your
going on
movie
here?
columns.
Yeah, why are you taking all the bad takes this episode? What's going on here?
I'm just gonna leave at this point.
I'll take over the two dudes spot.
No, but for real.
Back
though,
on point.
For real.
Back on
Let's
point.
hear it out.
So it's just like a lot of the humor, just not all of it sticks with me. It's just like the visual humor is fine. A lot of the dialogue's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's just like it's passable. It's just not memorable. And then like just David as a character, like he didn't need to be in the movie, man. A lot of his stuff could have been like distributed among the other characters for their traits. Like Diane could have been something more of an antagonist. David just didn't need to be there. But those are my main critiques. But I did like, like the comedy. Yes, the visual comedy was good, and like I feel like the action of the zombies was also pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's realistic.
It's a zombie movie. It's not realistic, but
the them fighting, in my
okay.
opinion.
Me is crazy.
So, what would you give this movie?
I think I will give it an ever so humble 4 out of 5.
Better opinion. Woo!
Yeah, I I do think the movie's pretty great. I love the actors. I love the way that they kind of interact with each other and make everything humorous. The plot itself is actually kind of straightforward and solid. I really love that Shaun is not this over-the-top protagonist, basically. He's just a background extra that's forced to be the protagonist. And you get that a lot, like with the records when they're throwing them at the zombies to try and hit him in the head. Like, it's not a heroic thing by any means. It's just funny because it's just an everyday item that somebody might have. So they're trying to make do with it. I do think it falls off a little bit here and there with like moments where it's unrealistic in how the zombies get portrayed, whether they're just not picking up on them walking through the crowd or if it's Shaun not getting bitten as he runs around. And then Shaun's mom getting bit is just kind of predictable. I don't know if it's just because I'm now like seeing that hero's journey trope literally everywhere, or if it's just the way that it was in the movie is just pretty obvious. I don't know on that.
Trust me, as an English major, I had to analyze a lot of stories. The hero's journey is everywhere. You will see it everywhere. Trust me. Once you start like realizing tropes and stories, you find them just everywhere. So,
and I think that's why I don't care for like. I guess that's not the right way to phrase that, but like whenever I complain about something with a movie, it's because I've seen it before 80,000 times. And so like, it's just so obvious to point that out. Like The Notebook, for example, like the big reveal at the end of that movie, I could guess instantly because just like it seemed super obvious.
I have not seen it.
I have not seen it either.
There's a reason I didn't say what happens. You're
Good.
welcome. So yeah, I don't know. 4 out of 5 though I think is still decent. Like I genuinely do like the movie. It's great. It's just those couple little minor things that drag it down for me. But yeah, that has been our first guest for our Halloween spooky time month.
Yeah. One fun fact about the movie before I go, because I'm a fun guy, I've heard.
Let's hear it.
So the show that Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg both, like, I don't know what exactly their titles was on, is their co-somethings, is a movie show called Space. And the entire plot of Shaun of the Dead was thought up when in an episode of the show where a character takes a bad dose of speed and plays Resident Evil 2, which Resident Evil 2 is so based, and then thinks that he is fighting zombies for the rest of the day. So,
yeah, little fun fact to end on. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to leave movie suggestions for us. I fear it won't happen this month because everything's booked already for October spooky time month. We will be back again next week with another guest. Excited for next week as well.
Yes.
So until then, I'm Luke.
I'm Griffin.
My name's Emerson.
And we will see you later, except for Emerson because he's a guest.
I'll probably be back next year. Don't try to silence me.
Bye.
Bye.